Alright, you bastards, this is Some-Belgian-prepper, and today I want to talk about hand warmers. And before we do that, if you're interested in survival courses in Belgium, there will be a link to my website for survival courses in Belgium and to my book called Bloody Crosses. Alright, hand warmers or instant hot packs. These are two different things, but they essentially do the same things. And I'm going to say directly, I'm not really a fan of these things for several reasons. And all these reasons could be invalid if you buy the more expensive stuff, so to say. But I'm going to tell you first, what can you do this and in what situations? Well, first of all, uh, an instant hot pack or one of those packages. You break something in the middle open that an oxidation process can start, gives heat, and yeah, it can give heat depending on what brand you have. Some brands go to sometimes 6-7 hours, and others are much shorter, depending also on the size and on what materials were used. And these are usually going from body temperature, which is like 37 degrees Celsius, to sometimes even 84 degrees Celsius. So these can get very, very hot. And that's something that you need to watch out for, that you don't get burns if you're going to use one of these extreme package. And yeah, this could be a lifesaver if you are in an emergency where it's very cold, like if you're on a hike or a bug out and it's middle of the winter beneath freezing temperatures and you are going to a shelter going to sleep. You don't want to freeze death, so or to lose any limbs, or to how to say this, get your stuff frozen. So this could be handy in that situations. But to be honest, I live in Belgium and we have like a gematigd klimaat. How do you say this in English? It's like an average climate, mild climate, so to say. So the coldest it was here in the last few years was like -7 and -5, and that's for a few times a day, few times a year it was, and that is extreme. So we don't have like the really snowstorm month long of winters cold shit like in certain areas in the world like America or Siberia. So in those cases, yeah, of course, get hot packs. That could save your life. But if you live in a climate like where I live in Belgium, these are not that most of the priorities. There are better ways to do this. For the reasons I'm going to tell you now, um, because first of all, these can cost some money. There are packages that are more expensive than others. Others are very cheap. Some go for like almost €2 for a few package. But yeah, depend like if you go for the cheaper ones, they will get less longer. They will not last that long, or they will not give that much heat. So, like I said, it depending on what kind of how much money you want to throw against these, and if you are not that financial off, so to say, then it could be a little bit pricey to do that. My second problem with this is I have a problem with things that you only use once and have to throw away, especially when they are chemical stuff. It's something. Yeah, I'm not a tree hugging hippie person, but in my opinion, survival tools should be something that you can reuse. Should be last that you can last longer, and you can even give to next generations. So there are other ways to do this. I made a video about how to warm your hands and face with the blanket cover technique and the candle during a hike or a bug out. But yeah, if you're not in extreme weather conditions or climates, these are not that much worth it, and they also take space in. If they leak, certain brands do not have toxic materials inside it, so if they break, it's not really that big of a problem. But other brands do have this, especially if you get one of those cheap knockoffs from China. Then yeah, then if it breaks inside of your bug out bag, then there is some toxic sludge running around, and you don't want that. Second thing, like I said, if you have to throw it away, because if you're going not on a bug out, then on the bug out you can throw this away if you're done, and you will not have to carry the weight. But if you're going on a hike or a survival training, so to say, you cannot just sweep these into nature, and you have to put them in your backpack when they're used and just go off. So and carrying all that material. So yeah, that's also a reason why I'm not really a fan of these. And the last thing I would say is it's kind of big. This one is perhaps a little bit bigger, but if you can see, it weighs at least 75 grams. And if you have several of these packages needed, yeah. And if you are going on a long hike or a long survival bug out, you're going to need at least a dozen of these for just to be sure. So yeah, these are the things why I don't like it. But they have their uses, and I'm going to talk about them now. First of use is, of course, as a hand warmer. If you're in a cold hike bug out scenario, the first things that going to get cold are your feet, hands, and face. So you can use one of these to warm your hands, put them against your feet, hold against your face, and yeah, you can warm that up and prevent frostbite onto the very delicate ending nerves of your body. So that's a first good thing. Second good thing I would say is you can and go against hypothermia. So if you're in a shelter sleeping and it's very cold, and your shelter is very cold, I would say the best parts to put this against is in the neck, uh, beneath the armpits, or uh, between the groin, because that's the part where most of the blood vessels go, and if you can warm them up, then it can help warming up the whole body part. So against hypothermia, it's a very good case, especially if somebody's starting to get hypothermia. This could be a lifesaver in that case. It can also help you to keep warm during the bug out if it's extremely cold. A stupid example that you can do is you can take your shamak, you can put your heating pack beneath it, you can roll it up, and now it's here. You can put it as a sort of kidney warmer behind you to warm the kidneys up. I made a video about the kidney warmers, and yeah, they are working great. So especially if you're going to have a heating pack here, it could be good. If you are more scared for hypothermia, I would say keep it in front, close to the organs, because if you, the most dangerous part is if you get hypothermia and it's getting cold around the organs. So that way you can keep it. Of course, do it beneath your clothing so you can get the heat efficiency better. And you can also do it if you have like a balaclava like me. Take it beneath your neck, especially if you're going to sleep, and that we can hold them into place. And of course, also perhaps put it beneath it and tuck it in one of those t-shirts that can hold them. And yeah, that's also a good thing. Another thing that I've heard, but to be honest, I've not tried this. Tried this at least with a heating pack. I've tried it with several heated stones, and it works. So why wouldn't it work with a heating pad? Let me know in the comments if you think that is. If you ever tried this and it's not working, please let me know. If your boots are cold, wet, that could be dangerous during a winter time scenario, that your toes will not freeze off. So if it's wet, you can dry your boots by taking one of those packs and put it inside of it and let the heat vaporize the moisture inside of it, and that way you will have drier boots. But yet again, it will cost at least 2 packages to do this for a one-time shelter perhaps. So that could be a little bit annoying. Another thing you can use this for is to keep your equipment working. So if you have small electrical devices like a GPS, cell phone, satellite phone, anything that works with batteries that you cannot have frozen during the night, during shelter, you can keep this wrapped up with a shamak around the devices, so it will not start to get the drained batteries or broken components inside of the electrical device. Another thing is to keep your water bottle from freezing. If you have a water bottle, I would say use your body heat to help it not get frozen during the night, but you can also help it with a hot pack putting around it. So yeah, that you do not wake up with thirst and you have frozen bottled water inside or in your water bottle, so to say. All right. What are other things that you can do this? Um, yeah, you can perhaps keep your I'm just bad with words today. You can keep your mug with perhaps a hot beverage inside of it, warm. If it's not boiling, by the way, if it's boiling, you don't want it to melt through it. But if you have something that you can hold in your hands, you can perhaps place it with something between it, like a layer of cotton, perhaps, and keep your hot beverage a little bit more warmer for a long time, like tea or coffee or warm cocoa, so to say. So that could also be helpful, but be sure that it's not hot enough to pierce through the materials of this plastic. Because even though some packages can carry 84 degrees Celsius, you do not want something that is above boiling point to get through this and messing up your shelter or whatever it is. And yeah, these are some of the things that you can do with these heat packages. If you know any other uses for these, please let me know in the comments. I'm always open for new ideas or to say when I'm wrong. And yeah, like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and see you in the next video. Cheers!